Jingle jangle and forsooth, watch as Artemis takes the reins of this review, and we talk today about role models. Yes, today we're talking on the Movie May about role models, and I had a much better and goofier introduction, but it was ruined by the telephone, so fuck you, telemarketing. Hey, today we're going to talk about the 2008 movie Role Models on Movie May, as Movie May winds down to an end, which I decided to review for two reasons. One, I had the movie at hand, and two, it has a lot to do with the world of live-action role-playing, which I may be a part of. Okay, yes, I am. You know that. If you follow me on Facebook, you know that. If you've watched this vlog, you know that. I'm an unabashed nerd. I run around with foam weapons and beat other unabashed nerds up. It happens. This movie talks a lot about that. The movie stars Seann William Scott, Paul Rudd, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and Bobby J. Thompson, otherwise known as Stifler, Brian Fantana, McLovin, and that kid from the PSP commercials, because really he was so young he didn't do anything else of note at that time, and I haven't seen anything else with him. The movie is about two guys, played by Seann William Scott and Paul Rudd, who are kind of in a rut of a job. Paul Rudd's character has been 10 years at this energy drink company, and, well, Seann William Scott's Wheeler character has been hanging out, being the mascot, and he's kind of happy to be in the rut. But Paul Rudd's character, Danny, has a really, really bad day, and it ends up with them hilariously crashing a truck into a statue and, with a whole bunch of community service, or, they either do 150 hours of community service in 1 month or they go to jail for 30 years. Only in the movies could that be the two possibilities of what's going to happen. Elizabeth Banks appears as Beth, Danny's girlfriend slash lawyer, and she's the one that wheels the deal, even though Danny basically, during the course of the bad day, caused her to do something that caused them to break up. So there's 150 hours of community service they're serving with something called Sturdy Wings, which is helmed by Jane Lynch, the ever-funny Jane Lynch, who plays kind of one of those people that you'd want to avoid in real life because they're crazy, but she does it so well that it's awesome. The movie is a movie about, two guys who are basically losers, by the movie definition of being losers, and are not quite in the best place in their lives, and they end up learning a lot of lessons by being big brothers to a couple of kids that are played by Bobby J. Thompson and Christopher Mintz-Plasse. Augie, played by McLovin, is a LARPing kid who basically lives in a fantasy world more than his real life, because in the fantasy world he doesn't have to be himself. He's got no confidence, and his parents don't really help. They're kind of jerks. Bobby is, he's got a single mother, and he's a brat of a kid. Oh my God, is this kid over the top? Some of the stuff he says, wow. But that's that kid's hallmark as an actor, is that he's a foul-mouthed little kid. So hey, yeah. Over the course of the movie, a lot of random crap happens, but it kind of centers around Lair, the live-action role-play world that Augie is a part of, and Ken Jeong plays the king in this case, King Argatron, and he's one of those guys that's over the top in the fact that he so revels in the role of being king that he's the king in real life in his own mind, and it's awesomely fun to watch, because I've seen those people. I know those people, possibly. The ones that just can't separate the reality from the role-playing. And at the same time, who cares? It's fun. It's good fun. And in this movie, he's a douchebag, pretty much, to everybody around him. And a lot of drama comes from that. And then there's a big crazy battle royale in the end for determining who the new king may be if he loses. And yeah, it's the role-playing world they've created is hilarious. And it also comes up with, from the behind the scenes, the best job ever if you're a giant nerd, LARP technical advisor. Yes, there was a job for a girl to hang out and teach them how to do LARPing properly. Also, the notable is the choreographer for the fight scenes for the live-action roleplay was the guy who did the choreography for the Bourne Identity. That's a hell of a step up. The movie's got a lot of crazy and fun and fantastic people. It's a great comedy. It could have easily been just nothing but a douchebag gross-out comedy, and it's got its moments of being that kind of lowbrow humor, but at the same time, it's touching, it's sweet, and hilarious, and a lot of kiss in this movie, which is always a good thing. Yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. I have been the Serial Killer. Questions, comments, concerns, death threats, you know where to put them in the comment section below. Because of the telemarketer, I'm running pretty late. I got to get going to work. So have a good one, and I will talk to you tomorrow.